Hey, stop that. Well, welcome everyone. We can see our facilitator is in house already. Action. Look at the book. Let me know if you can hear the action. Lady Toyosi, Lady Blessing, Mr. Charlie.
Yes, good evening. Who can hear you? Can hear you. Thank you very much.
No, let's communicate with the right channel. Drop your name, your church, and location in the chat. Let's meet ourselves. Charlie, City Gates Church, Ibadan. God bless you. Good to have you here, bro. Good to have you here. I like your name. Shola Blessing. Hey, Lady Blessing. Good to have you. New and Living Way Church. Awesome. Lagos. Lagos, we have Ibadan. That's Oyo State. We have Lagos. Let's see how many states we have here tonight and how many countries. Number of states, number of countries. 2 states down. How many more to go? Good evening, everyone. Anybody Evans, the City Gate Church. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That's yes, from the same church as Mr. Charlie. Okay. Who else? Who else?
Bios.
Fola CAC GHQ. Christ Apostolic Church, General Headquarters, Lagos. Awesome. Mr. Prosper is from MFM Region 93. Awesome. Delta State. So we have 3 states here now. Olugbenga, you're welcome, sir. Christ Treasure Center, Lagos, Lagos, Lagos. Lady Toyosi is also from the City Gate Church. City Gate is number 1 church here tonight. Ibadan, good to have you. Good to have you. So we want more people to join in, then we start. But I'm enjoying the introduction. Lady Elizabeth is from Love Seal Church. Don't I love the name of that church? Love Seal Church.
So church of those, right though.
Lagos. Who is that? Brother Prosper. Brother Prosper. Let's maintain decorum, man. Mute your mics. Everyone, please mute your mics if you're not speaking to us. Clinton Donald. Where's your name? Where's your name? Ellie Church. PRM Lagos. Awesome. No problem, bro. Prosper. Thank you for doing the needful. Oluwafisayo Ogunjimi. Good to have you, Sir Omar. That's a neutral gender name. Christ Apostolic Church, Festac Cathedral, Festac Town, Lagos. I hope they didn't get to your side. This demolition going on in Festac. Our prayers are with you. Okay, who else? We have 29 people in the house. Let the countdown begin. Let the countdown begin. This is 7:12. By 7:15, we shoot. Miracle Adebayo. Hope they didn't get to your side. This demolition. What am I getting? Echo and feedback. Okay. Miracle Adebayo, Orioke Baba BA, Ede. Wow. Mr. Miracle, good to have you. Osho State. So we have how many states now? We have 4 states: Lagos, Oyo, Delta, and Osun State. Clinton Donald. Awesome. Mr. Gwenga, let's chill for Mr. Gwenga. He will be back. Stepped out. Okay, I think Mr. Gwenga is still here. Good. Mr. Gwenga, just give us a moment. Let's meet these awesome people that have decided to join us tonight. Mr. Sanusi Oluwadamilola is from CAC Agility, or what is this? Man, I know it's not agility. I know. I've murdered the name, but sorry, apologies. And it's from Lagos. Wow, we have another state. 5 states now. Lafia, Nasarawa State. Brother Simon Jr., RCCG, the first RCCG here tonight. No, they didn't. Only illegal makeshift structures were demolished. Awesome. Thank God. Glory to God. Covenant Baptist Church, Suleja, Niger State. That's how many states now? 6, 7, 7 states. River State, 8 states. Mr. Collins, you're welcome. Awesome. Awesome. 8 states of Nigeria. Let's look for an international. Whoever is joining us from abroad, from the diaspora, from Africa, let's meet with you. Okay, awesome, guys. Let's start. No time to waste. You know what you can do to make us Oluwadansi, RCCG, Jesus Shield, Ibadan. God bless you. God bless you. You're welcome. Okay, so what you can do quickly is to share the link to this training. Can we quickly do that? Share it to your WhatsApp group. Brother Adura, I'm having feedback. Is it the same on your end? Mr. Mayowa, good to have you, sir. El Shaddai Ibadan. How do I get the link? Okay, so please hold on. I'll drop the link now. Yeah, right there. That's the link to send. Brother Dura, I'm getting echo.
Oh, yes.
From the audio. Okay. Thank you. You're welcome. Kennedy. All right. It's still the same. Can we have what's called now? Okay, better. Thank you. Okay, so let's start with a word of prayer. Our Father, we thank you. We thank you for Church Media X.
Oh yes, sorry everyone. I get internet just consult bro Yemi will be joining in shortly back. Okay, Zain. Bro Yemi, we can't hear me if you are speaking.
Okay, I think I've been muted. Can you unmute him?
Okay. Hello, Bro Yemi. You can unmute. Okay, you're unmuted, but we can't hear you.
Okay, can we hear me now? If you can hear me, let me have a reaction.
Oh yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, so I had to step out and step back in. I don't know, network issues and all. Okay, guys, did you hear the prayer? Let me pray it again. Father, we thank you for Church Media X. We thank you for Church Media Professionals Network. Father, we thank you because you took two men and graced them. You gave them wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and the power to do what they do. And today we have over 1,800 people in the network. It has not been by our doing, it has been by your grace. Father, we thank you for the church media marathon training that you have set up, that you have called us to do. Father, we ask that tonight you will grant your son, Mr. Benga, the wisdom. You will grant him the grace. You will grant him the mental capacity to pull us through these remaining hours of tonight's training and to elevate our understanding, elevate our spirit in terms of church media and live streaming. And at the end of the entire session, we will have the fullest cause to glorify your precious name. For in Jesus' precious name, we have prayed. Amen. Amen. Let me see your reactions if you can hear me. Amen. Good, good, good. All right. Thank you so much. Let's not waste too much of our time. Let's go straight into the deal of the day. We're starting with an introduction. Church Media X. What is Church Media X? Church Media X is an interdenominational organization. Interdenominational, because we do not want to restrict it to one sect of churches. So we made it interdenominational. So every church is welcome into the community. How did we start? It's I think it was 2022 when I met with Brother Adura, and I introduced the idea to him that let's start a community, because I had some challenges and I didn't know where to go to for answers. If you go to Google, you won't find the answers there. If you go to Naira Land, you won't find it there. So I asked him, and he said he also was thinking of something like that, where every one of us can be in one space, sharing our thoughts, learning together, and solving our problems together. And that's what we have been able to achieve. From two people, we have two groups of almost 2,000 members now. And God is expanding what He's doing. So we have Church Media X. What's the X? X stands for expertise, experience, and excellence. Do we get it? So we put together the community and named it Church Media Professionals Network because we want us to have that professional mentality to whatever we do. And over the years, we have interacted with many people, some from abroad, some from Nigeria, some from Africa, and we have seen every one of them bring in their own supply into the vision that God has given us. Guys, you won't believe it. We have a great vision. We have a global vision, actually. We're going to build a church media academy very soon. We're going to build an entire structure for that. Where you saw what someone put in the group today, that the problem of the industry is training. So we're going to do that by God's grace. And we're going to do some more trainings and more trainings. Now, without further ado, let's bring up our facilitator for tonight. He's a known face in the community. I've known him for about 3, 4 years now. And as a matter of fact, when we started Church Media X, it was one of the few people that we spoke to on how to go about generous advice as usual. And today is partnering with us on different levels. So tonight I want to read out his bio. Brother, can you please put his
Oh yes, we have it on the screen. Lady Bless. Okay, good. Rokoyemi, your voice is breaking. Oh, wow. Sorry, everyone. His voice is breaking. I think he's even out. Okay, but please confirm, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can, sir.
Oh, okay. So just before Bra Okwemi gets in, sorry, the internet is really fluctuating on his side. Yes, so as we know, I'll be introducing Mr. Benga. Mr. Benga is the founder and CEO of Waystream, an AI-powered live audio streaming platform amplifying African voice worldwide. He's a seasoned software architect and media tech innovator. Olugbenga began his live streaming journey in 2010, pioneering one of Nigeria's earliest digital radio solutions. He also leads Zone is going to pronounce that, well for us. Zional Technologies and Academy, empowering African immigrants and professionals with in-demand digital skill in Nigeria and Canada. With over 20 years of experience in software engineering and digital transformation, Olugbenga is passionate about AI in media, agentic engineering, and building technologies that inspire creativity, connection, and impact across Africa and the global tech ecosystem. And at Church Media Marathon Training today, he'll be revealing how technology and faith comes together, turning every live streaming into a moment that inspires, connects, and transforms life. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mr. Olugbenga Sodunke.
Okay.
Mr. Olugbenga, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adura. Good evening, everyone. I believe it's evening over there, and I welcome everyone to this wonderful training. I want to believe you can all hear me. If you can hear me, please just give me a quick thank you. All
Yes,
right.
we can hear you.
All right. So I really want to appreciate the conveners of this training, and the community, the church media community, Mr. Opeyemi and Adura. I want to appreciate you both for the great work you are doing. Um, I mean, I've been watching the community grow from day one. I mean, I've been privileged to be part of the community from the very beginning, and you know, I've watched the community grow. I've seen a lot of problems, being solved on that platform. I mean, for those who are new, who don't know about church media community, it's basically a community residing on WhatsApp. It's a WhatsApp group, right? A WhatsApp community, and it's growing very fast. And I learned the third group is being created now, so
Yeah.
which means there are over 4,000 church media professionals on that network. One thing I like about the platform is that there's hardly any problem any media person brings to that platform that is not resolved immediately, because there's a mix of different people from different backgrounds, different experiences on that platform, always available to solve problems for others, right? And I think that's one thing the media community, not just in Nigeria or Africa, but all over the world needs, right? Particularly because it's a church media professional group, right? So I want to welcome everyone. I believe everyone here is a media professional at their own different levels, representing different churches across different states. So thank you so much for what you all do, for the Lord. And one thing I usually say is that media people, media professionals are not appreciated enough. I'm not that anybody is looking for an appreciation like that, or not that anybody is looking for, uh, yeah, maybe for glory in what they do, but um, I've media people are those who are not seen. They're usually at the backside of everything. They are not seen, but they do a lot of work. I've been a media person for close to about 18 to 20 years now, and I know the in and out of what media entails. I mean, media work in church especially entails, and I believe that any opportunity I get to talk to media people like this, I really want to see the opportunity to appreciate you all, to appreciate them for the great work they are doing. Because without you, really, the ministry, the ministry you represent, really, can't really go out, can't reach out to people. The commission of every ministry is for the message, to go out, like Jesus Christ commanded, that where he commanded, his disciples and told them, said, "Go ye into the nations, you know, to preach the gospel, and which I'll be beginning from there today. Go ye into the nations, basically to take the gospel out of the four walls, take it to the nations, take it to the people that need to hear the gospel, you know." And I usually say that in those days, before technology, evangelism used to be manual, used to be by foot. Basically, people move out with megaphones, preaching from street to street, right? But as technology has evolved and has become stronger, we see that there's been a shift in how a lot of things are done, and on how that instruction, that commandment, it's actually a commandment. It's called the Great Commission. which Jesus Christ gave to his disciples to execute on the earth. We've seen how the method of carrying out that commission has evolved as well. Okay, because you can only go to few places, okay, to evangelize right now by foot. You can't really cover many places. But right now, with the availability of technology, uh, one can sit in a room, anyone, whether a pastor or an evangelist or any member of the fivefold ministry, or even Christians, because that commission is not just for pastors. I believe we all know that. It's for every Christian, every disciple. You know, you can be in your room, even it doesn't matter whether it's 2 bedroom or three bedroom or one single room. You just need a space with the most basic device, and you are executing that commission, broadcasting the gospel across the earth, right? So I'm just trying to say that without, you know, the media guys, all of whom are here today, I mean, and I mean, many of you are not, many of them are not here, but all of you here are all representing others. Without you guys, that commission would not be executed in the ministry you are representing, right? So I just want to use this opportunity to appreciate every one of you for the great work. I know, yeah, you're on that platform. You know, we hear a lot of stories. Some people complaining about, you know, what they go through and all that, you know, in doing the assignments. But um, you know, there's a whole lot of things many of us go through just to ensure that the message of the churches you're representing go out. And some of you might not even be appreciated enough. Some of you might even be, you know, talked down on, you know, but um, you are still holding on. You are still trying to do what God has brought you there to do, you know, using your skills to ensure the message goes out. Okay, so one final note before, I mean, the training has started, all right. I have a slide to share, and but I'm going to be going in and out of the slide because I I know that in the last few weeks that this training has started, a lot of professionals have been brought here to talk about, you know, various technical aspects which are very key and important, all right. So I'm going to do a mixture. Okay, I'm not just going to be talking about the technical things now only, but I'm also going to be talking about other aspects that is crucial, okay, to what we do as media professionals, which we might not get the opportunity to hear every day, everywhere, okay, so that this training can be full and so that we can get everything we need to get during the course of this training, okay. So I'll be talking more about the why, okay, because I know many of us uh, join the media department just because you don't want to be idle or just because you were persuaded to join, and just join the department so that, I mean, you are useful so that you work for God. But beyond just joining because you were told to join, there is a why. There's a major cogent purpose for media teams. There's a reason why there is media department in every church, okay, which I believe it's very important we all know, or else if you don't know it, we'll miss the mark, okay, and won't do what we're expected to do. All right. So I'm going to be talking about that before going to my slide. But before I go on, I'll introduce. Well, I've been introduced, so I won't dwell too much on that. So I will just um, talk about um, how the journey started. Okay, how my journey started. All right. There's this adage that if you don't know where you're coming from, you will not even know how you got here, and you will likely not know where you will end up. All right. So I'm going to be talking about the history of live streaming, all right, in Nigeria from my lenses. All right. I'm going to be talking about that because a lot of us got into media, got into live streaming when many years after YouTube Live came into the scene or Facebook got into the scene. But long before YouTube or Facebook, right, there's been live streaming in Nigeria. Some few churches have been going live, right? So some of you or some of us have not had the opportunity to really know how that time looked like. Okay, it was like the dark age or dark season of media in Nigeria. Okay, so I'm going to give us a quick glance into that, how it was then. Okay, then we'll look at how it is now and the challenges, because I know that again, judging from the conversation from the group, I see a lot of complaints. Anytime I enter the group, I see complaints from different people, struggles, challenges, okay, which is common to everyone. Okay, so I'm going to talk a bit about that, the challenges we have, we face currently, okay, and then again, due to the fast evolving landscape in technology, we'll be talking about what to expect, okay, what the media is expected to evolve into in the nearest future, which is happening already. All right, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, so are we ready? Are we ready to go into it? I just finished greeting everyone, and I'm about to go right into what I have to present to us today. So I'm sharing my screen.
Oh, yes, we are ready to get into it, sir.
All right. So are we all see my screen? Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I've been introduced. My name is Olugbenga Sodunke, and I'm the founder and CEO of Waystream. I mean, some of us have heard about Waystream. We'll be getting more into that later on. But so I'll be talking about live streaming mastery, right? How to inspire, connect, and transform lives through digital ministry. So now, like I said, I'll begin with my journey into live streaming. So basically, for me, the journey began in 2010. Um, when live streaming in Nigeria was still very experimental. So I was working in the company in a software. I'm a software engineer, yes, and back then in 2010, I was working in a software company called 360 Consult, on Victoria Island, Lagos. And my company got a brief then, because I was one of the key software engineers, the team lead then at that company. And so we got a brief from one of the foremost radio stations in Nigeria, even up to now, then called Cool FM. And that brief was to basically digitally transform the radio station. So what that meant was that they wanted to go digital. They wanted to move from just being a terrestrial radio station to becoming a digital radio station. And at that point in time, there was no radio station in Nigeria. And I'm not sure in Africa. Africa is very big, so I don't like to really talk about Africa, but I'm sure if there's any digital radio station in Africa by then, they would be very few. Because when you talk about Africa, um, in anything that has to do with tech, you know, finance, and most things, you actually first look at Nigeria. Okay, what happens in Nigeria determines or sets the pace for what happens in many other African countries. Okay, so Nigeria is, everybody knows that wherever you go, you find Nigerians, doing greatly, and even Nigerians in Nigeria also at certain pace. So, but still, I want to limit it to Nigeria. I'm very sure at that time, 100% sure, there was no radio station, there was no digital radio station in Nigeria at that time. Not that I know of. So Cool FM came, gave us the brief, and so it involved um, building a complete website, okay, that has live streaming enabled. So they basically wanted to be able to broadcast through the internet to viewers all over the world. So that was the brief by the company I was working with then got. And of course, none of us had ever done that before. It was a very huge challenge because it was very new, very, very new then. It was still very experimental. And so we began the work we knew how to do, which basically entails researching. So we started making research to see how this will be done. I mean, how can you set up a process, a system where a radio station can be heard by people all over the world through their websites? And what they wanted was not just audio streaming. Being a radio station, you would think, it makes sense to just do digital radio. But what they wanted was not just digital radio, but also video. So both video and audio, that's audiovisual streaming, was what they requested for. So after making a lot of research, we started putting different pieces together, and everything was scattered. So we had to, pick pieces here and there, build the website, and start bringing the technology to make that happen. Streaming server, client software to do that. Then even the technology, I don't know how many of us know so much about, some basics of websites and technology now. In those days, right now, most of us have heard about JavaScript. Is that correct? If you've heard about JavaScript, just do an emoji icon. So JavaScript is basically the technology that makes it easy to um, do anything interactive on the web, okay, on the internet, on the website. Okay, so any interactivity you see on any website, it's because of the availability of JavaScript. Okay, so as at 2010, I'm talking about, JavaScript was still very nascent. It was still in its nascent stage. It wasn't popular, right? What was more popular then was what was called Flash. Okay, I don't know how many people have heard about Flash. Okay, Adobe Flash. If you've heard about Adobe Flash, please let me see your emoji. Oh, no emoji. That means nobody has heard about Adobe Flash. But okay, if you've heard about Adobe or Adobe, if you've heard about it, just let me see your emoji. I'm not seeing any emoji here. Is it that I'm on the wrong screen?
Oh, the emojis are flowing.
Oh, they are flowing. Okay, let me change my view then. So, okay,
Oh, quite a lot of people.
fantastic. Good. I'm trying to pin. Okay, let me stop sharing for now, so that because I can see, yeah, I can see it now.
Okay, good.
So, again, I'll ask the question: if you've heard about Flash, Adobe Flash before, let me see emojis. Okay, I can see some few and fantastic. So, as at 2009, 2010, Adobe Flash was what was mainly being used to make any web elements interactive. Okay, which was very heavy and bulky. So then we had to pass everything through Adobe Flash, okay, to display live streaming on any website, because JavaScript wasn't really popular. So just developing also, especially in this part of the world. So we were able to successfully pieces everything together, and that project, that brief, made Cool FM become the first radio station in Nigeria to set up live streaming, video and audio streaming, such that people or their audience all over the world could connect to the website and not only see, not only listen to the radio station, but also see the studio. All right, see what was happening in the studio as they were presenting live. So I'm not sure if they still do that today now, but back then, they had a lot of stars, Dan Foster, Charles B, and all those old guys, some of whom are late now. And that was a very groundbreaking thing for us at that time. And so after successfully implementing live streaming at Cool FM, my boss then, that's our CEO then, of course, a Christian then also, he used to attend this church, Dominion Power Ministry, Dominion City rather, Dominion City. I don't know how many, do you have anybody from Dominion City here? Okay, if you know Dominion City Church, that's Dr. Philip Egoli. Can I see emoji? Okay, so that was the church he was attending then. So immediately we got that breakthrough. So I believe he spoke to his pastor and all that. And the following Sunday, he told us to, go set it up at his church. So we went to that church, uh, Dominion City, and set it up. And then they were able to, of course, then you have to get the cameras, the capture card, you have to program the Adobe Flash to work, this broadcasting laptop. Then the streaming server, you have to provision the streaming server and configure it to work. A whole lot of things had to be matched together. It wasn't an easy thing at all. So we set it up, and in my own opinion, that was the I can say that was the first church in Nigeria to actually live stream their service again. I've been saying this everywhere and trying to see if I will find someone who is going to say, no, we've actually done live streaming before then. I really want to find such so that we can really talk about it. So, but as at then, like I said, there was no church doing live streaming at that point in time. So I'm just giving you history so that you can know where all these things are coming from before YouTube, before Facebook. So 2010, and just for proper perspective, YouTube Live started in Nigeria in 2014. 2014. I don't know how many of us know that. 2014. There had been YouTube in the US, but YouTube Live, the live feature, the ability to broadcast, wasn't in Nigeria. It started in the US around maybe 2012, 2013. But they don't roll it out across different regions at the same time. But it was 2014 they got to Nigeria, which changed the landscape of things. All right. So then immediately after we set it up for Dominion City, of course, then uh, um, I spoke to my pastor, my spiritual father, the ministry which I serve and which I still serve now, that's Eternal Glorious Fountain Ministry. And I showed him what we had done at Dominion City, that it's actually possible to stream a program live, and where those who are unable to come to the meeting physically can join the meeting online. And I showed it to him and he said, why not? Let's implement the same thing. And we implemented it at that ministry too. From that 2010 to now, we've been live. I mean, for more than 15 years now. Those ministries, that ministry which I serve has been live almost every meeting, every day, every meeting, every session, and we've evolved as technology also evolved. All right. So 2014, YouTube came, YouTube Live, and of course, what YouTube now did was to make it easy. Okay, they provided a platform that made it easy for any broadcaster to sign up or anyone to go live on their website without having to, get all to do the job of streaming themselves, the difficult job of streaming. And by then, JavaScript had evolved, had fully matured. All right. So I think it was the involvement or the advancement of that technology called JavaScript that really made it easy for live streaming to also evolve very fast. Okay. So YouTube was able to pull it off. And when I saw that, I tried it. That 2014, I saw that this was way much more easier than what we had, and cheaper. You didn't need to do anything; just get your camera, plug it in. The way we do it now, and it wasn't even as smooth as this then, because over time YouTube too had evolved and made it better. So, but it worked, and it was way much easier than how we're doing it. So I had to move, my church. And so many other churches, I actually did it for then, around in Lagos then. We had to move all of them to YouTube. And that was how a few other churches also had to join. And before we knew it, YouTube Live started, booming and all that. Then not too long afterwards, Facebook Live also came up, and churches began to also broadcast video and audio to Facebook. All right. So the ease of live streaming broadcasts on those two platforms, in tech language, they are called SaaS, that's software as a service platform. That makes it easy for anyone to sign up and just go live without setting up without setting up much on the server itself. Okay, it's called SaaS. So that SaaS technology is what makes it possible for live streaming to really develop. But I must say then, back in 2010, 2011, I knew there was a church called Elevation Church. I think it was just starting then. I think that's Adora's church. It was just starting then. I knew they went live through a device, then a hardware device, because I think I visited that church during that time. There's a hardware device they tried to go live with then, which didn't work out eventually. Recently I met someone in Vancouver, in Canada here. called, I don't know if you know Chimdi, Adora. Adora, do you know Chimdi? I'm, I'm not sure
Yes.
you will know him.
Who is that?
Okay.
What is his name again?
His name is called Chimdi.
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 Oh no.
Okay. He was actually the one that set up, was the one leading the media of Elevation Church at that time from the beginning.
Oh, is it
Um,
Chim?
uh, Chim, yes, Chim.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I met him recently and we spoke about all these things, reminiscing those times, and he told me about some of the things that was set up at Elevation Church in 2011 then. Then I think there's Stephen, I think who's the current head of media, which whom I've also
Martin is now the
spoken with,
head of media.
who's the head of media now. So I think Chim the
Martin.
trained, yeah, trained Stephen and a lot of them.
Yeah.
I spoke with him recently. So back then the church was actually the main organization doing live streaming then for the purpose of spreading the gospel. Okay, and since then, since the involvement of that technology, we have seen tremendous rise, tremendous success in in the gospel, in the preaching, in the spread of the gospel across the world, across the world. Okay, and as time went on, Mixlr came up. I think it was in 2015 or 2016 or 2015 or there, or 2016. I noticed Mixlr again, which now also made us move our audio streaming to Mixlr. Okay. So now I'm going to be this is just to give you a quick history into where we're coming from to where we are now: Facebook, YouTube, and Mixlr. Okay, for both audio and video streaming. Okay, so before I go further, I'll quickly address. Please just let me know the amendments I have just signed to me, because so that I'll quickly pack up some of the things I want to say. All right. I believe I
Oh
still
yeah.
have up to like 30 minutes or more.
Yeah, you have about 25 more minutes.
Oh, fantastic. So one thing, because there's no time, I don't have time to say everything I want to say. One important thing I must say is to us as the media people that again, don't forget the name of this community is called Church Media X, and then don't forget that we are church media professionals. Okay, now there's a vast difference between being a church media professional and just being a media professional. Okay, so we have media professionals who operate, within and outside the church, and we have those who operate only outside the church. They are media professionals, right? But um, for those of us in the church who are working in the church, you are not just a media professional. You are a church media professional for a purpose. And the reason why you're a church media professional is basically to extend the message, okay, that your church or the set man of your church is preaching, to extend it across the world, okay, for the purpose of fulfilling the commission or the mandate which the Lord gave the set man of the church, which is basically the same for every church. The commission is to proclaim or to spread the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ across the earth. All right? That's the reason why you're a church media professional. So all the tools you are setting up, all the things, the technology we're talking about is basically to fulfill that purpose of spreading the gospel. Anything done outside of that, is not fulfilling that mandate, and you are not fulfilling your purpose, okay, as a church media professional. All right. So one major thing, like I said, this thing I want to say is beyond the technicality, the buttons and all that. It's to repaint the purpose in line with the vision which Mr. Adora and Mr. Okoyemi, have repeatedly shared on the group, and which they've also communicated with me, that there is a purpose, which there's a purpose for being a church media professional, okay, which they really like everyone to remember every time as they work in the church, is that they are meant to aid the pastor They are meant to be an extension. Okay, they are also preachers. You guys are also preachers. We are preachers in ourselves. Okay, we are preaching through technology. We are preaching through our cameras. We are preaching through our live streaming setup, so that the message of the pastor, which is the message of Jesus Christ, can be amplified across the earth. Okay, and there's a mindset we must all have. Okay, because one thing I want you to know is that whether in the church or outside the church, messages are going on. Okay, Satan is also preaching a message. Satan is also preaching a message. He's preaching a message through different systems he has set up in this world. Satan is a preacher, and one thing I want us to understand is that there are only two agendas on the earth. It's an agenda-driven world. Okay, whoever you are right now, whatever you do, you are serving one of two agendas. We have the agenda of light and the agenda of darkness. Okay, and we all know that the person behind the agenda of darkness is Satan, and God's agenda is actually to propagate light. Okay, so one scripture I want to remind us of, which we must have at the back of our mind as we do everything we are doing in our churches, is this Habakkuk 2:14. Okay, where the scripture was talking about, for the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. And that is basically God's agenda for the earth. Okay, and that is the reason why churches, God has called different pastors. Okay, pastors, apostles, the fivefold gift, God has called them for that singular purpose, to ensure that the knowledge of the glory of the Lord covers the earth as the waters cover the sea. Now, when God was talking about that, there was no such technology that we have today. Okay, and that's why, like I mentioned earlier, evangelism has been crude. It has been by foot, it has been through different crude means. But God knew that a time is going to come where there will be all the technologies we have today made available, so that that purpose, that agenda of God can easily spread. All right. Now, if you look at it, uh, Jesus Christ in the Bible during his days, there was a time of different times whenever he wants to preach, he has to borrow a boat, and they have to sail the boat, back into the down into the sea a bit to preach to multitude of people. Why? So that the wind could carry his voice, and so that multitude could hear what he has to say. All right. And that was the best technology that was available at that time, using the wind. Okay. But that message that he was preaching at that time could only cover those who were physically available at the shore, at the seashore at that time. There's no way Jesus Christ would preach from that boat, where it will reach the whole earth. Do you understand? So God had to raise a lot of men, a lot of people, and disperse them across the earth so that this message could go around. But the truth of the matter is that even with that, it is practically impossible for the message to go across the earth without some form of technology. So I know why I'm saying this is that some of us, I know, or some of us are still serving in churches, or even some of us ourselves still have some kind of doubt about technology generally, and some of us are contending with, um, pastors who still have some kind of doubt about technology. I know what media people face because I've interacted with a lot of media people in churches, different churches, where they request for certain equipment that will make their broadcasting work smoother and go further. But it always seems as if our pastors don't understand, the importance of these things. Okay. And some of you are frustrated because it seems as if you want to do more, but you're not able to do more because you find it difficult to convince your pastors to get certain tools, okay, for the purpose of broadcasting. Okay. Again, I'm saying this so that in order to help you, to help strengthen your conviction, and to let you know that truly, truly, actually, without these technologies you've been requesting for, there's not much thing that can be done. Now, I know there can be financial constraints, okay, and not that some of your pastors don't actually want to, make available the gadgets you are asking for, okay, but um, finance might be a problem. Okay, so that takes me to the next thing I really want to talk about, so that I might not be able to go into my slide. Once I'm done, I will just share it with you. I'm just flowing. So, but some of the things I'm saying are in the slide already. Okay, so at the end of the training, we're going to share the slide, and you'll see some more practical things there as I'm talking. Okay, so but because of the little time, I'm just running through it. But what I want to say can take me up to 2 hours, but we have just 45 minutes, so I'm compressing everything. Okay, so now I want to give you some tips, because we have to just balance things. From some of the conversation on the platform, I see some people complaining about what I'm talking about now. Where it seems as if your pastors don't understand you. It's difficult to get the buy-in of your pastor. You get to the group, you see some churches posting their gadgets and how they're going live, with video streaming and all that, and the different, gadgets like House on the Rock, Elevation Church, and the big churches, and some of us are even cut out from the conversation that is taking place on the platform, because you don't have such device to practicalize what is being said. So I want to reach out to such people now. I want to really talk to you. I'm not talking to those who have all the gadgets now. Okay, for this brief moment, I want to talk to you to let you know that to execute without when there was no technology, one way or the other, we're still able to spread the gospel one way or the other. Okay, so just to let you know that you don't need to get all the expensive cameras, expensive equipment in order to still do that job of the Great Commission. Okay? You don't need to get all that. You can always start. Like God told Moses, what is in your hand? And he said a rod. And God used the rod that was available at that time. So some of you have rods. You have things available in your hand that you can begin with to still do the job even much more effectively than those who have all the big gadgets. Okay? And some of us don't know that with a basic phone, okay, you can actually publish or broadcast your church service to the world. Because again, one of the things that is affecting some of us is forgive me if I use the word peer pressure. You see guys talking about the gadget they're using in their church, and we also now want to do the same, want to do video streaming. Some of us think everything about live streaming is about video or audiovisual. Yes, we all know the importance of audiovisual. We know audiovisual is very good, but I would like to let you know that audiovisual is not the most effective means, okay, of broadcasting. Okay, audiovisual is not the most effective means. Okay, apart from the challenges that are involved in setting up proper live video streaming, okay, and the cost, the setup cost, okay. Even if you have the money to do everything, research has shown, I'm talking about research that we have carried out, and some of us on the platform have actually probably noticed it, especially some of us that do both live video streaming, and audio streaming at the same time. Okay, some of you you struggle to only do live video streaming. Okay, but there are some of us that do both live video streaming, that's YouTube and Facebook, and at the same time we do live audio only streaming. And let me tell you one of the things we found out consistently for 15 years, in the last 15 years, that's from that 2010 that I've been handling live streaming. One fact stands out, that there are always more people connecting to live audio streaming only than those who connect to live video streaming. That is a fact. Okay, you want to experiment it tomorrow, go and experiment it in your church if you have the means. Okay, I'm 100% sure. I've spoken to a lot of people who agree with me, media professionals who agree with me. Okay, you will get the same results if you go live on Facebook and YouTube, and you go live on Waystream, okay, or Mixlr, okay, or any other audio streaming platform. You will always have more listeners on the audio only platform than on YouTube. Why is that? Okay, because you are broadcasting mainly for your audience. Now, one thing I've noticed about some media professionals or media people in their churches is that they want to engage in the broadcast based on their own lenses, based on their own needs. And at times it can be based, sorry to use this word, it can be based on our own ego, that in our church we do live video streaming. Okay, some of us have not yet understood the importance of audio only streaming. Okay, we just want to do video streaming so that we can say we're on YouTube too, we're on Facebook, so that they can see the face of our pastor. Now I'm saying all this because at times even the instruction can come from our pastors, and so because you don't really know better, you don't know how to recommend or advise. Because as a media professional, your job is also to advise, your pastors in technical things because they don't really know much. Okay, they are more focused on the ministry of the word and prayer. All right, but as a live video, as a media professional, you are actually handling the ministry also because you are a help minister. Some of us don't know what it means to be a helps minister. If you're a cameraman, if you're a media person, you're a minister also. Okay, you might not be called into the fivefold ministry, but you are also doing ministry, which is categorized under the helps ministry. So you are a helps minister because you are helping your pastor broadcast his message. Okay, so as a professional, it's your duty to recommend and properly table things to your pastor for them to see the importance. Because I know some of our pastors at times want to be seen, they want to, which is okay, which is normal, okay, but you have to consider the effectiveness of the channel that you want to employ to broadcast. Okay, so you are broadcasting not to satisfy your own interest as a media professional or the interest of your pastor only. Okay, you have to know and you have to make your pastor know that those who determine the best platform or the best channel are actually the audience you want to reach out to. Now, most of our audience in Africa generally, and in Nigeria or Africa by extension, find it easier to go live on audio only platform. Take that from me. Why? Because of high cost of data. Now, the first time I noticed this and I was shocked. I also used to have this mentality that no, video streaming, it has to be video streaming or nothing. What is audio streaming? Because as a media professional, it doesn't sound attractive to do audio only streaming. Okay, because you just want to feel that if I'm online, if I'm on live video, then I'm up to date, But your audience should determine the channel you pay attention to. Okay, so now this is not to say that audio only should replace video. No, I'm saying that we should pay more attention to audio only. That as we struggle, because I see a lot of people on the group getting phone, trying to get phone to connect. I must go live. I must do videos. So most of the question on that platform is how do I connect to vMix using phone? If that is your situation, let me say emoji. If that is your situation, let me say emoji. Where you've been struggling to broadcast video using your phone through vMix. You want to connect which vMix, which driver can I use, which NDI can I use to connect my phone so that I can do Waystream vMix. I can do YouTube live video, Facebook live video. While that is good, but do you know that as you have struggled to broadcast live video, I can likely tell you the results you are going to get on Facebook. No, so if you have 10 people who want to connect to your broadcast, if you have 10 people, I can tell you will have 0 or 1 person on Facebook. Okay, and if you use Facebook and YouTube alone, and you have 10 people that can potentially join your live broadcast, the live broadcast of your church, you will get 0 or 1 person on Facebook because of the nature of Facebook. Facebook is the social media platform, okay, with timelines. People scroll past. Okay, it's not like YouTube. Okay, people scroll past. So people who are connecting to your broadcast on Facebook only connected accidentally. They didn't connect intentionally. Okay, there are very few audience that will really go to your Facebook for the purpose of connecting to your audience. That is the nature of Facebook. They were just scrolling, and something just popped up. This church is live, and they just connect. And let me tell you, as they connected, because of the distraction and because of the nature of Facebook, they are likely not going to remain engaged. Before you know it, they just need to mistakenly scroll out of that page. And by the time they come back, the timeline has gone past. They will never find that video again. And Facebook also does not make it easy to find any video stream that you just watched, because that is not, they didn't create Facebook for the kind of video broadcast that we do in church. It's just supposed to be a fleeting broadcast. Okay, so because of that, this is research that has been consistently true, that I myself have carried out consistently for 15 years. You will get fewer people connecting to your broadcast on Facebook. So if you always see 0, 1, 2 people on Facebook, and it's only Facebook video streaming you are doing, then you are missing out a lot, because there are other channels you could have used. Now, again, I said if you have 10 potential people, you have 0 or 1 person on Facebook, then on YouTube, you can have up to like maybe 30%. So you have additional 3. Now, if you don't have an audio-only streaming platform, and if you have 10 potential people, okay, let's say you have 1 on Facebook and you have 3 on YouTube, the remaining 6 that you could have gotten are on the audio-only streaming platform. And you have just missed them because you didn't make provision for audience that only have the capability to connect through audio only. And let me tell you, Africans, Nigerian audience still calculates data usage. Take it from me, Nigerian audience still calculates data usage. It is in Nigeria that people are checking the data. Most for Android and iPhone, it records the amount of data you are using. So people or listeners or viewers will not connect to, if you only give them video and Facebook and YouTube option, they will not connect because they don't want to consume their data. I am telling you, they will not come because they're calculating that I must use only 1 gig data per day. And they know if they go to YouTube, they know the amount they will surely use more than, by the time they finish connecting to your service, they will have passed their data budget for the day. Okay, so they will rather. So I've seen listeners who, because there was no option for audio only platform, what they did was they devised a means. They go to YouTube, they change the quality from 720 that you or 1080 that you have streamed with. They change it to 144p, which is the lowest resolution. They change it to 144p so that the amount of data to be consumed will be low. What are they telling you? They're telling you that I don't need to see video because 144p is a very compressed video. If you're watching 144p, you can never enjoy it at all. In fact, you barely see anything. Okay? And let me tell you, even those online audience you think you have on YouTube, let's say you're a big church, even if I'm talking to big churches now, I'm not just talking to small churches, I'm talking to big churches as well. Okay, if you're doing live video streaming and you see 200 people, 300 people, I can assure you, if they are not in a Wi-Fi environment where they have access to free Wi-Fi, if they're using that data, I can tell you they are using 144p because they want to conserve their data. And what they're telling you is that, see, video is not really important to us. You can, all your fine stages, all your fine background is good. You can only see it briefly, especially if they've been seeing it over and over. They feel they don't need to see it again. We only want to hear the audio. We just want to hear the message. For those who really want to hear the message, you understand? So if they want to see action, people dancing, they can still manage to see it through the compressed video. You understand? And if the action is very hot, depending on the kind of event, if it's a worship service or something, they can increase it briefly and turn it back on. I am telling you what I have noticed. I've seen how people engage with live streaming. Okay, so I'm giving you the psychography of your listeners because you need to know it so that you can better serve them. Your primary job as a media professional in your church is to serve your audience, those who are connected to you online. That is your own audience. Okay, in a meeting, you can have 50 people physically present and you have 500 people online. So between the 500 people who are online and the 50 people who are present, who should you pay more attention to? Of course, the 500 people who are online, because any little mishap on your internet or your audio or anything, you lose them. And only those 50 people will be able to get the blessing that is coming that day. Okay, so many of us have not paid attention much. So we think, like I said, the channel you make available for your live broadcast is determined by you without considering the needs of your audience. So what I'm saying now is, from now, I'm encouraging us to begin to pay attention to the needs of our audience and to the challenges our audience face. They have data constraints. They have low budget for data. Even if you're a very big church and you feel you'll be very wrong. You are making a big mistake if you think your audience, all your audience, have big Jeep and have an endless budget for data. Because one thing about online is that you are open to the whole world. Anybody can join your service, and if you're looking for people, there's no barrier. There's no physical barrier. Okay, anybody in India, in China, in Africa can join your live service. So why limit them by not giving them an option that is cheaper for them to connect? Somebody in Zambia, okay, wants to connect your meeting and they don't have the data in Zambia, and the only option you are giving to them is Facebook and YouTube. I'm talking to big churches too now. You should give them an audio-only platform that requires less data, okay? Because at the end of the day, what gets people blessed is the sound, is the audio, not the video. The video, like I joined in the last training, the last speaker, which I thoroughly enjoyed. And the last speaker said one thing, that was last week Friday. He said, we're talking about media production and editing and all that. And he made a very important point. He said, the most important thing in your video production is audio. He said, if your video is sharp, if you like, do 2K, but your audio is very bad, you don't have any production, you have messed up the whole thing. Because audio at the end of the day is what passes the information across. Okay? Audio passes the information more than the video. Okay? So at the end of the day, it is the audio that carries the message, not the video. So my intention, my aim is to turn our thinking, our mentality, and to turn our mindset from us, thinking that as a media professional, I want to satisfy myself. We have all the gadgets. Okay, you can have all the gadgets, and majority of the audience only needs the audio-only platform for them to get the blessing. Okay, so I'm saying this so that also those who have small churches especially, and media professionals who are in small churches with very low, with little or no budget, so that they would come up the pressure. They don't need to put themselves under pressure that because other churches are on Facebook and on YouTube, that me too, we have to be on YouTube, we have to be on Facebook. If you don't have the equipment, the budget, don't. Some people have gotten offended at their pastor. Okay, some people have gotten offended at their pastor because they feel their pastors are not cooperating. Not knowing that the pastor, in fact, the pastor is trusting God for funds to come in to do other things. Not that your pastor does not want to provide money for equipment, but the fund is just simply not there. Okay, so you will help reduce burden on your pastor, and you also help reduce burden on yourself if you just know that you can achieve a far more effective result if you use what you have in your hand. It might just be an Android phone. It might be the smallest Android phone, and you can go live on it, and you will reach more people than you can ever reach on video. Until the time when God is not going to provide resources for the church to get more advanced equipment. It's a process. It's a gradual process. Then you can now begin to get all the equipment. And when the church now has money to buy all the equipment, still don't leave audio, because like I said, no matter what, after 20 or 30 years, become the best. RCCG, go and check it. The highest number of listening is on audio-only platform, not on YouTube. Do you understand? So please come up the pressure. Come up the pressure. Yeah, I can say a question here. What about displaying account details and other similar information? You can display the same thing on audio-only platform on the chat. Okay. There are chat platforms everywhere on audio-only platforms that those who are following can see the same information on them. So that answers the question. So what I've just done now is to try to reduce the pressure, because I know there are a lot of people, a lot of media professionals there who are in small churches that cannot afford most of the equipment, right? Please don't put yourself under unnecessary pressure. You can do so much for the kingdom with that small Android phone. If only you know that you can just focus and you spend less on going live. Okay, so I believe I've done justice to that. And everything I'm saying now was one of the things we saw, because like I said, 2015, Mixlr came into the scene, And because we're still using the old one, it was only the video streaming only. We moved to Facebook and YouTube. Then we're still using the old technology we have set up, for audio only broadcast. Okay. So, but the moment Mixlr came, which was a SaaS platform, similar to YouTube and Facebook, meaning anybody can just sign up and just go live without having to set up their own server and all that. So that made sense to me. For me, I just wanted something that works. I just wanted to broadcast. I was not thinking of doing business with it. Okay. My main focus was just to ensure that the church I'm serving and other churches around just have the opportunity to broadcast the message so that the gospel can go across the earth. That was just my concern. Okay. So I had to recommend moving everybody to Mixlr. I remember during that time, like I said, there were just few churches online then. In fact, a lot of churches in Nigeria that are in Nigeria now, that are doing a lot of things online now, came online in 2020 during the lockdown. It was the COVID-19 lockdown that made a lot of churches come online. I remember because I got a lot of calls. I went to different churches, big churches on the island, Lekki. There was a particular person who was just taking me around just to help church because we were asking, how do we have to go online now? Because throughout the lockdown, churches went offline. A lot of churches could not go online. Churches closed down during the lockdown. It was only churches that had been online that were live all through. Okay. And that bettered a new, what's it called now? A new set of churches that we see online today now. All right. So, okay. So now, okay, I'm checking the charts for questions. Please, you can drop your questions as we're going on. Sorry, this is just a chart. You see, like I said, I suspected I might not be able to go into because I just wanted to relate with us. I wanted to come down, just talk to us heart to heart, okay, so that we can get the most out of this training. All right. So then, a lot during it was during lockdown, many churches now eventually came online. But before then, when Mixlr came, there were still very few churches. You can count them. You can count the number of churches that were online in Nigeria at that time. Okay. So when Mixlr came, so we moved them, and there's some other churches now came on board. Some RCCD churches came on board also, and before we knew it, within a short time, Mixlr spread around. Okay. Then came 2018, 2017, 2018. I began to notice, performance issues with Mixlr. Okay, because of course I was the head of media in the ministry, where I served, PGFM, and of course by then, because we had been streaming since like 2010, all right, and this was like 6 years or 7 years after. The online audience, the number of online audience we have all over the world had increased. So we're constantly online. The ministry has audience all over the world. So anytime, of course, there were always more people online than in the physical building because of the great number of online following we've gathered over the years. So anytime there was a breakdown in, Mixlr, don't forget I said then there were more people on Mixlr than on Facebook and on YouTube. So anytime Mixlr goes down, a lot of pressure calls, hey, everything has gone on. We start running around. So the server started shutting down constantly, So after a while, it got too much. I began to, if you ask myself, because the pressure was getting too much on me. Calls, even other churches that had helped set up streaming would call, what are we going to do now? Mixlr is not working, this one. Because when they started too, they were struggling. They didn't actually plan for Africa. Mixlr didn't plan for Africa. Mixlr is a UK company. They didn't plan to come to Africa to do live audio streaming. They were not even there, but even till now, they don't have a lot of customers in Europe or in the UK. People don't use Mixlr in Europe like that. If there's any church using Mixlr in Europe, it's just maybe Nigerian churches. Okay. But in Africa, a lot of churches adopted Mixlr, So it was a lot of problem then. Anytime they had, a shutdown in their server. So for the first time, I began to think, is there no other option? Because this is what I've feared for a long time. There has to be another option to Mixlr so that if Mixlr packs up today, we won't be helpless. Because then, like I said, I already knew that there are more people. There are always more people online that the gospel is reaching through audio only platform than video. So when I was searching And unfortunately, I couldn't get any. It was one platform I saw called Spreaker, one yellow colored platform. I still remember the website. And I went on there, I tried to download it so that it could complement Mixlr. So that whenever Mixlr goes down, we'll move to Spreaker. But Spreaker wasn't really optimized for live streaming. It was more of a podcast platform, and podcast was just also becoming popular then. So it wasn't really working well. So for the first time, I now thought that if this problem is going to continue like this, and there's no other alternative, maybe it's the best time to just work on something ourselves, that will solve the problem. And it was that 2019 we began to make research into providing an alternative, okay, for Mixlr. Okay, now video streaming, YouTube, Facebook was still there, but I knew that the most important aspect for broadcast, for short broadcast, like I said, I'm following the numbers. I'm not following hype. I'm not following up. I'm following the numbers because, like I said, the most important thing is the people, the listeners, the audience. The message must reach many more people. So, if the message must reach more people, then you have to follow or consider the platform that people are able to connect to more in Africa. And that's the reason why my focus was more on myself with my team was more on an audio only streaming platform. And then we decided to make this research. And to cut the long story short, 2002 we released the first version of Mixlr for the first time. The reason why we talked about Waystream, we released the first version of Waystream, a private beta in 2002 October. Okay, now the reason why we even thought about creating anything at all was because Mixlr was messing up. If Mixlr had connected and continued to do well, we would not. There was no need for me. It was working fine. I liked it, through my influence and some others. Mixlr spread across Nigeria. A lot of churches adopted, Mixlr, But when they began to fail and people were beginning to cut off from broadcast, so we had to, come up with something. And that was what bettered Waystream for the first time in October 2012. We invited 10 churches to say, we have a new platform. Come and start broadcasting on Waystream. Let's see how it works. And between then and now, we had upgraded, we've changed a whole lot of things, in the app. In fact, we partnered with a lot of churches over time. After 10 people, we increased it to 20. From 20, we increased to 50 churches. And we're getting feedback. Some people within the community, also participated, giving us, can you have this feature? Can you have this feature? Can you have this feature? So we kept improving it, up to what we have now. I'm just telling you the issue of live streaming from 2010 up till now. So now, for the first time, God helped us a lot to finally provide not just an alternative to Mixlr, but a much more better alternative to Mixlr. So what we did then was at the beginning, we said, rather than provide an alternative, a direct alternative to Mixlr, why not go far and beyond? Okay, so we decided that, okay, we're going to provide an audio version of YouTube. So we saw YouTube, everything YouTube has, the ability to create playlists, the content repository, the way the audio are arranged, are organized, the ability to pause the live stream and rewind the live stream, all the features, because we had used Facebook. I love the YouTube rather. I love YouTube, how it was organized. So our vision was, let's do something like YouTube, but for audio only. So that those who are listening on audio will have the same experience, the same beautiful experience on an audio only platform that they're having on YouTube. So they don't have to go to YouTube to reduce the audio quality to 144p just because they don't want to consume their data. Let's just give them an audio version of YouTube. So that was what we've done. That's what we've done with Waystream. Okay. And so that's why if you check Waystream and Waystream.io, you will see that it resembles YouTube a lot. Okay, of course, we diversified in certain aspects, but we make sure it has every feature that YouTube has, every feature and more, because we also understand the African context. So we know that one of the major challenge of broadcast in Africa or in Nigeria is internet. We experienced that at the beginning when Mr. Okwe was, introducing and beginning the meeting. We saw the way internet messed up. Okay, and I'm sure that is the same experience we all have, whether you are doing video streaming or audio only streaming. Internet problem is our number one now. What I'm talking about now is in the slides. Okay, is in the slide I'm going to share. And I think this is a good time to share the slides. I will skim through it. I've already said most of the things there. Okay. So again, the reality of church media today, network instability, this is number one on the list. I'm sure nobody has solved that problem. Okay. We've tried different things, internet bonding, using server to connect so that everything will work fine. It still doesn't solve the problem. Okay. Because for streaming, the internet we have in Africa today, everybody knows that is the fact. The internet we have in Africa today is not optimized for streaming. All the telecom company, all the infrastructure they are using was optimized for only voice call. No internet technology, no ISP in Nigeria today was optimized for streaming, whether video streaming or audio streaming. Okay, so that is the major challenge we have. So to solve that problem, either somebody has to invest in providing an ISP, maybe a 5G broadband network, okay, that was made solely for streaming. Because one thing about streaming is that what is working now, one mistake media professionals make is when they want to provide internet for their broadcast, okay, they think streaming is like normal internet usage. Okay, so you can have an internet that seems fast when you use it for normal browsing. You go to fast.com, right? Check the speed, and you can see 50 Mbps up and 20 Mbps down. Mind you, if you're checking speed, know that it is the down you are checking, which is the upload speed. Okay, the up is the down is the download speed. The up is the upload speed. Okay, so when you're checking fast.com and you even see 20 Mbps, which seems you would think, I have a very good internet. So this internet I'm not going to have any problem with my video streaming or audio streaming. Lie. You will have problem. Why? Because for live streaming, it is not only the speed of upload or download that matters for live streaming. What is most important is consistency in the internet connection, which we don't have in Nigeria. We don't have in Africa. That is the problem. We've discussed it at different levels, at different high levels. It's a problem right now, especially in Africa, even in many parts of the world. Okay, streaming is a difficult terrain, especially for Africa. So these are some of the things that has helped us to really provide, which we're still working on. I can't say we've completely 100% solved that problem, but because we're in Africa, we understand the challenge in Africa. We know the internet challenge. So what we've done is to optimize our technology to ensure that even under low internet environments, it still works. But people in the UK make sure that they don't know what is happening in Nigeria. So that's why we say experience some of the things we experience with them. So I'm just trying to say that internet is a major challenge, and that problem has not been solved yet. Some people are working on solving it. I met someone in Vancouver last year who is working on that right now. He's looking for investment. It costs a lot of money to solve that problem. He's looking for a lot of money to be able. He has the solution. Okay, we discussed it back and forth at a very high level, but to solve it requires a lot of money. So right now, he's talking to investors, trying to see who will fund it. And such kind of projects are not the kind of project investors want to solve, because investors want quick money. When they give you money, they want to get their money back. All right. So now I'm giving you inside information about the challenge we have with live streaming today, and some of the challenges behind the scene. Okay, which you might not be privy to. And you might be wondering, why is there no internet that can stream? But this thing is showing 10, it's showing 100 Mbps up and down. And why is this not stable? Because it's not just the speed, like I said, it's the consistency. Okay, with internet, with live streaming, internet should not go off for 1 second. If it goes off for 1 second, that is why you see buffering. So at times your broadcast is buffering, and when you check fast.com or speedtest.net, you see that, but the internet is fast. Yeah, it's fast, but it's not consistent. And I can tell you, very few ISPs are consistent in Africa today. And internet bonding thing still does not solve that problem, because we don't want it to break at all. We don't want it to break. So, but there are some solutions in view, which I'm working with some people to solve the problem for all of us. Yes, network also can disturb it. Okay, network can disturb it, but it disturbs it less because audio is lighter. I'm answering somebody's question now. Audio is like somebody's asking that does network disturb the audio live streaming? Yes, it does, but it disturbs it not as much as it disturbs on video, because video is heavier, okay, but audio is lighter. All right. So with that, there's a way we have been able to solve that problem using what is called SRT protocol in our live audio streaming platform on Waystream. Okay. SRT is simple, reliable transport protocol that makes it easy to still have a reliable connection between your computer, between the desktop of your computer and the server. So that when internet goes off, it still manages to connect. Okay, with little or no buffering. Okay, and we are still working on that. There are things we have not stopped thinking. There's some out of the box solution we are working on, out of the box, which people are not thinking about, which God has given us the inspiration to implement. Okay, so I'm just giving you inside information now, which God has given us the inspiration to implement that will solve the internet problem completely. We might even have to bypass internet completely. Okay, okay. We are going back to the first principle to look at the whole thing again to see that must we use the internet for broadcast. So I will talk more about that later on. But I believe we are making some breakthroughs already. It's possible we come up with a solution soon that does not require internet all through. Okay, the internet that will be needed is only on the server, and because there's no internet problem on the server, we'll still use internet on the server. But between your broadcasting computer and the server, there are research that is currently ongoing, which nobody is going to make for us, because they are not really in the advanced world. They don't have such problem because they have advanced infrastructure. Okay, so that's why I always say that African problems require African solution. But very soon we're going to be able to have breakthrough into that, where we might not need internet to broadcast from your computer, whether video streaming or audio, but at least audio first. Again, we are focusing on audio because we believe audio is much more important. Audio will reach more people faster, okay, than video. What's the purpose of doing video and when it's buffering, people cannot hear? Okay, so that's why we believe audio is the most important. By the time we solve it for audio, it will be easier to solve it for video. Do you understand? So that is what we are working on. So again, does it have audio bit rate? Like, yes, it does. You can set standard, low, and high bit rate. So these are part of the things we have on Waystream. You can do that. Don't worry, we've already talked about everything, because don't forget, we are also broadcasters like you. We understand. We are solving the problem for ourselves first, and we're just extending it so that others can enjoy the same solution we are bringing out. All right. So we're not outsiders trying to solve a problem for media people. No, we are firstly solving the problem for ourselves. Once we solve it, we test it. We see that it works. Then we are extending it to others within the community. So we have a solution. Oh, yeah, come and use it, so that this gospel must go out by all means, because we are church media professionals. It must go out by all means. So that is what is behind our mind. That is our main motivation. Our main motivation as church media professionals and as media technologists is to ensure that we have solutions, technology solutions that will aid the amplification or the spread of the gospel across the earth. And this is something we all have to do together. Okay, it's something we all have to do together. So we are doing our own part, okay, at the technology side now, to provide the infrastructure that is needed to do this, so that we all can use it, to carry out the task that has been assigned to us as media people. All right. So I'm going to skip this quickly to see. I've already mentioned this. Like I said, this slide is going to be shared with us so that we can see it. Now, there's something I'd like to read here. If you can see my screen, the shift from streaming to experience. Okay, reframing digital ministry. Live streaming isn't just about broadcasting what is happening on stage. It's about creating a digital worship experience where people connect, worship, and share from wherever they are. The new ministry battleground is attention. How do you capture it for God's glory? Okay, so again, this talks about what I was saying earlier, that again, you don't just want to broadcast, you are considering the experience of the people you are broadcasting to, not your own ego or not your own hype. Okay, the people you are broadcasting to, so the experience they are having while live. So if you know you don't have enough gadgets or equipment to broadcast video, why frustrate them? Why give them a poor experience? Okay, so give them video, but also please give them audio. So we've realized that a lot of people within the community at large neglect audio. They feel it's inferior. They feel audio is, I beg, it's not, it doesn't have hype, it doesn't have steez and all those things. No. See, audio gets the job done much more. So as you are providing video streaming for your audience, please, I beg you, provide audio also, so that we can give them the best experience, less buffering. And what we've experienced also is that whenever YouTube goes up or start buffering, you see the number on Waystream increases, because people have left. For those who are using Waystream, people have left YouTube. All of them. In fact, when you are monitoring the comments, you start seeing them saying, but the comments is one of the most interesting section in live streaming. People are already communicating, giving themselves information. Waystream is going fine. Let's move there. People rush there because there's less buffering there. Okay, so imagine you are only doing video on Facebook and YouTube, and you've not provided an audio only platform. You won't give them the opportunity, and you are cutting them off from the blessing that should read them from your pastor. Okay, I think I've said enough about that. So 3 pillars of live streaming mastery. Okay, I'll just rush through this. We have content excellence. It's all about the content. One thing you should have at the back of your mind is you are creating a story. Okay, please, the person who is preaching is not the one doing the job only. You determine what people see in their houses. You determine what they hear. Okay, you determine what people see on video and what they hear on audio. The sound, how they hear it, you are also the one determining it. Okay, so for video streaming, somebody who is there, who is at the off physically, okay, the view the person is having about the message going on is dependent on where the person is sitting. All right, someone who is sitting at the front has a closer view to what is happening in the church, on the pulpit, okay, during the worship or during the message. Someone who is sitting at the back has a different experience from someone who is sitting at the front. Someone who is sitting at the back angle, okay, or someone who is sitting in a place where there's a pillar, there's a pillar covering a part of the pulpit or of the stage, okay, is having a completely different, mostly less desirable experience from others that are sitting in a clearer view position. So people in the hall have different views depending on where they're sitting. But you see, those who are online only have one view. And who determines the view that they see? It is you. Okay, if you're handling live streaming or handling or live audio streaming, you determine what people see online. So any mistake you make is the story you create for them that they see. All right. Second pillar is technical reliability. Okay, use the right gear. I've already spoken about this. Not necessarily expensive, but consistent and dependable. That should be your focus, please. Not that our church also does live video streaming. We also use vMix so that we can talk about it. No, please. Whatever you use video, use audio, but please be consistent. Be very, very consistent. Make sure you are giving people a consistent live streaming. So if you don't have the infrastructure to do that, stay with what you have so that they can have the watchword is consistent and dependable streaming. Okay. Lastly, the third pillar is audience connection. Okay. As you are going live, don't forget live streaming is real time. It's engaging real time. So your customers or your listeners are connected to you. They also want to engage with you. And I love the comment section of every live broadcast. A lot goes on the comment section. You see, it's another church service going on in the comment section. Another church service. The way people are asking themselves questions, the community, the relationship, the engagement is beautiful. Okay, so as a media professional, you should have a unit, a team within your unit that is tracking engagement. Someone who is going to be responding to those who are online. Okay, if the volume is low, people will send message, please increase the volume. Some of us just go live and forget that people are watching. We don't even monitor what is going. We don't monitor feedback from those who are online. So when the volume is low, it might be after 1 hour, you will now realize that the volume has been low for the past 1 hour. People have not enjoyed, it's not giving them a good experience. So have someone monitoring your live engagement so that you can always respond to them real time. Okay. In the ministry where I serve, we actually have different we call it e-church. We call our unit the e-church unit. We are only responsible, it's separate from other video departments or visual departments. Sound, they're different. Sound and video feed the e-church departments, and we have different units there. Okay, we have the units that handles video streaming separately. We have another computer that handles audio streaming. We dedicated a different computer for audio streaming. We have another computer that handles scripture, sending of scripture into vMix or OBS or whatever you are using. We have a different unit that handles that from a different computer, not on the same computer on which live broadcast is going on. Okay, then we have a different computer for monitoring. Someone is sitting there. All the person is doing is just the person is also listening to what those at home are listening to, or those online are listening to. The person is not listening to what is going on in the hall. The person is connected to YouTube. We have another person monitoring Facebook. So all the person is doing throughout the day is what is going on online. So the person is having the same experience as what those who are online are having. I mean, each of them are having the same experience. So when there's lots of audio or volume is low, they report it before people, they report it before people start reporting it to us. Do you understand? So before the online audience even know that there is a problem, the problem has been solved already because there are people monitoring. Okay, so that's where the engagement comes in. So these are the three pillars which you have to focus on. Where's my slide? Have I stopped sharing? I have to reshare again.
You can
Okay.
share again, sir.
Okay, thank you. So these are the three pillars. If you can do this and set up a structure around I know some of us might have, like I said, small churches, you might not have enough resources to do everything, but just know that you need to pay attention to this thing. Maybe one person will do two people's job, but just know that to have an excellent live streaming broadcast or live broadcast, these are the three main things you have to pay attention to. So I've already said a lot about this, so I'll be skipping the hidden power of live audio. Why audio is the game changer. It works on low internet. It's easier to set up, and it's mobile first. People don't have to carry their computer or anything. With their small phone, Android phone, as long as it has internet connection, they can connect. Can you still hear me? Please confirm if you can still hear me, because one of my AirPods has gone off now. So I believe the other one is still working. Okay, so the other one is still working. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, we can.
Okay. So there's a link here that I have on this slide. I think I will share it on the group, so that we can all. It's a link to a blog that talks more about what I have already said about the importance of live audio. Please go and read it. When you get the slide, click on it, read it, and there are other articles on the website. Read them, because we are also creating resources for you to help you. Okay, to do this ministry better. Okay, so yes, I already talked about Waystream. Okay, it's simple. It's a simple setup, low bandwidth. Monetization, you can monetize now. We have a new feature on Waystream where the same thing you have on YouTube, where people can decide to donate online. People can give. Okay, people can give online. We have it there now on Waystream. Okay,
Wow, awesome.
multi-channel reach and AI features. So these interesting AI features are coming up very, very, very soon. Okay, we are having things like AI recommendation engine that is going to personalize every listener's experience for you. Okay, and then real-time transcription, like we have on Facebook. As your pastor is talking, is being transcribed on the screen. They can see the transcription. Okay, multilingual subtitles is also coming. You can listen in different languages. Okay.
Wow.
There's a special version we are doing for Deeper Life, which is requested for to subtitle or translate into up to like 12 languages. Okay, so by the time we are done with that, of course, we're also going to share it with with every other user. Okay, so voice cloning for consistency for anyone who wants, apart from church now, you also want to create your own content. You can upload your voice and type a text, and you create your audio content on the fly with AI without having to. So by the time we're done with that, content. So this is everything about it. I think. Okay. Yeah,
So
just to let us
for
know,
consistency for
Waystream
anyone who is
operates in
about
50
church,
plus
you also want to
countries,
create your own content.
right?
You can
And
upload your
we have
voice,
1,000
type a
plus
text, and you create your
casters
audio
on
content on the
Waystream.
fly
We're still
with
growing,
AI
but
without
1,000 is a whole lot. Okay, and we have over 30,000 live stream sessions so far, 2K weekly listeners, and Waystream is currently expanding to North America because we have a lot of diaspora broadcasters, okay, who also want to broadcast from across the world. So thank you so much. To get started on Waystream, just go to the website. Very simple sign up process, waystream.io. Sign up process, sign up, create an account instantly and start going live. You get 14 days free trial once you sign up. And after the 14 days, you can continue to use Waystream for free for life. Okay, you have 15 hours free broadcast every month. Okay, but the only thing is that it restricts your broadcast to 30 minutes daily. So if you need more than that, you can unlock more talk time by using the first plan, which is which is very, 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 very affordable. Like I said, just enough. We're charging just enough to keep our servers running. Okay, we believe if we make it very, very affordable like that, our servers will keep running and everybody will be able to enjoy all the things we've been talking about. So the future of church media, I've already said, it is going to continue to take place on the internet. AI is changing things. I'm sure some of us have heard about Beam, which was shared on the platform. Very lovely platform. An AI platform to automatically project scriptures. I love that. I'm waiting to see how that pans out. Even though we are also releasing that very soon, is one of the product lines we are working on. Okay, so but AI is we're already working on AI products. I've mentioned some of them to you, but there are still many, many more. Okay, that is going to help us do this work even more and better. All right, so stay tuned as we continue to work on this. So join Waystream, join the Waystream family, and continue to evangelize the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ, of our Lord Jesus Christ, globally. Thank you very much, and thank you for taking your time to listen. I hope I have not taken too much of your time. So you can ask any question now.
Wow,
Thank you.
wow, wow, wow. Such an amazing time you've taken us through. I can read, in the comment section, someone was saying that some of the things you're sharing, were deliverance for some people. And that is what knowledge, it really is. Knowledge is about one person just standing up to bridge this gap, for knowledge. So yes, in the comment section, just begin to, give a round of applause for Mr. Benga, for the knowledge he has shared with us. And he's here. So as you know, Waystream is one of our partner, and that shows, how much Mr. Benga is part of the community, and how much he's able to, when you hear him speak, you can hear him, making reference to the community. So that shows he's really following what is going on within the community. He's one of the first founding members. So yes, thank you so much. So I'm reading a question. Okay, yes, there are questions. So somebody said, yeah, I know you slightly, answered it. He said, if our audio department and media department are different and the sound is bad, how can we stream with a good sound?
Thank you very much for that question. That is a very important question. And you've done so well already. I don't think that's a small church, but irrespective of whether it's a small or medium-sized church, the fact that you have a separate sound for live streaming, from the main, that's from the FOH, which is serving the all, the fact that you have separated them, you've already taken the first major step. Okay? You've already taken the first major step. So all you need to do is now to focus on the audio unit that is serving online, and let them fix the problem from there. It's as simple as that. Okay, so I would have recommended, usually what causes problem with online audio is that you are using the same mixer that is serving the house, is the same line, the same mixing that is serving the online audience. Okay, so at times if the volume in the hall is very low, okay, Now, because it might be low in the hall, but might not be low, might be okay online. And at times it might be too high in the hall and might be very, very low online. So there's usually a disparity between the two. So at times the people mixing for the house are trying to increase the volume because it is low. But most of the time, what I've experienced is that it's usually high in the hall because the speakers are always close, especially if it's a small hall, and the speakers are close to the people. So they won't be able to increase the volume so much because it will become so loud to those in the house. So because of that, those online will be suffering and they'll be saying volume, volume, please, volume. Okay, so when they increase the volume, it will increase the volume in-house, and people in-house will be complaining it's too loud. Okay, so that's the reason why it's usually recommended to separate both. Have a different mix for online, which is separate from for the house. Okay, so that those in the house can adjust the volume level, audio level to whatever they want, and those online can adjust it to whatever they want. Okay, so if the from your question, if our audio department and media department is different and the sound is bad, how can we stream the good sound? Just ensure you focus on the audio is feeding the online streaming and solve the problem from there. Tell them they have to solve it for you. They are serving you. This is what I tell our guys. Video department is serving you, and the sound department is serving, serving the live streaming. We call it e-church, serving the e-church. Okay, so they must give you good video, they must give you good audio, or else service will not start, or else you cannot go live until they give you clean video and good audio. Service can start again because most of the time those who are online are more than those who are there physically. So service can start physically, but you cannot even go live. Don't even go live at all. Okay, because there's no point going live when you have poor audio. What people can't hear you. So it dents the image of the department. It keeps people frustrated. So ensure that that is worked on together. Okay, and you guys are working as a team. I hope that answers that question.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Thank you, sir. For that. Yes, there is a comment here, and it's a comment about internet, the network.
Yeah.
So the person was saying at some point, he had to always go to church with multiple internet connections.
Yeah.
So yes, what will your advice be for churches? For some churches like my church, we are able to buy encoders, to aggregate multiple internets together. If one drops, the other picks up. But some churches are not just able to afford this now. What's your advice to them, and how can they survive this internet, breakdown and all of that?
Yes, thank you very much. Like we learned, we learned already that one of the number one challenge with live broadcast is internet network instability. That's the number one challenge. And like I mentioned, right now there's no permanent solution to it. Bonding just alleviates it, but even that internet bonding doesn't solve it. Because like you said, if it goes down, there's still that time it will take to connect to the next one.
Yeah.
So that time is when it buffers. So if that one to goes down, it will connect to another one, so it keeps buffering. So right now, like I said, we are still looking for a lasting solution to that. And not just me, others, like I said, Chim I mentioned, and some other people that are more very experienced. We are still talking to see how we can solve that problem once and for all, because it's really frustrating. Okay. But for now, the only thing you can do is what you're already doing. Have multiple internet. I'm always surprised most of the time when some people plan for only one internet to broadcast their church service. You don't do that. That's in fact that's number one rule of live broadcast. Never always have a backup. Okay, backup of everything, backup of internet, backup of your capture card because your capture card can fail. If it fails at any time, you bring out the other one and start using it. Okay, and that's one of the things we talk about the cost of doing live streaming. If you really want to do of doing live video streaming, if you really want to do live video streaming, you have to be prepared. You have to really, really be prepared. Count the cost very well. I know that you are ready for it. Because to do it well, we're talking about live streaming mastery. To do it at an excellent level, you should have a backup of everything. 2 or 3 capture cards. I recommend 3. But if it's only 2 you can afford, have 2. 2 sets of internet. Not even 2 is too small. In Nigeria today now, you need at least 3 or 4. You can get all the networks, get everything available. Just get data inside each and every one of them. 5,000 data or 10,000 data. you can only increase the cost budget of your main internet. You know, the one that is working best in that area. So get more data there, but just be prepared that it's not that maybe it will go down. Whether if it goes down, you understand, it will surely go down in Nigeria. Not that you are praying for it, but you can't depend on any telecom company to keep your service well. Okay, so prepare for the worst. Have multiple internet. Laptops also have backup so that if one goes down, bring out the other one. So that's how to have an excellent live broadcast. So please don't ever go to a live broadcast with one internet, please. That's not the way to go.
Amazing, amazing. There's also a comment. It's more like a comment. Just to read to there. Somebody was asking, can the output panel be used to balance the sound online in case we are using the same mixer? Then someone said solution I can suggest to this is use an aux, that is auxiliary, on each channel of the mixer. Send out to a video mixer if you have, or send to the PC. Yes, I believe this answered the question. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Benga. I mean, we spent about 1 hour 45 minutes, here talking
Wow.
about what live streaming is. And of course, as you know, it's a very major, because I mean, live streaming is the output, is what showcase our media work. As you
Yeah.
said, everyone, can come to the service and, they enjoy the service physically. But even people that watch the service online are always much more than, people who will watch physically. And Bro me always give an example. He give, the experience, for example, much more people, thousands more people are going to watch online, definitely. So yes, I mean, your online, it's so important. Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Gbenga. We really appreciate your time. Please, can I see, the reaction button in the comment section? Let's say thank you to Mr. Gbenga for this, amazing time. And of course, his team are also here, taking down your questions. And of course, as you know, all what we are discussing about, beyond just this discussion, is a feedback for the Waystream team and even other online platform to be able to, use to iterate their ideas and, kind of refine the product to fit with the users. Because I mean, we church media professionals, we are one of the, key users of their softwares. So yes, thank you so much, sir. God bless us all.
Thank you so much.
Oh yes. So everyone, thank you. The YouTube link is in the group, is in the chat box. So yes, everyone, you want to really, go in there, replay the session, and of course, do well to subscribe to the Church Media X YouTube channels. There are, a lot of videos we are dropping in, weekly, all of our videos, and we are dropping them there. So yes, you want to watch and the amazing thing is that you can always, send those links to your church media leaders, to your people, to stream, to listen to what these amazing professionals are saying. And of course, as you know, this is the Church Media Marathon training, and we are just 5 weeks into it. We still have in fact, we have one more guest that you've not seen in the design that will be joining us very soon. Next week, we are treating something very important, and that is team management. And we would even be opening, that to everyone, not just church media professionals alone, but send it to your friends, send it to your colleagues at work, send it to anyone can join, to know what team management is. And next to that, we are bringing someone who will be telling us about AI, how to use AI in our church media, how to utilize AI. You don't want to miss that. We strategically put these two sessions together, so that we have, people who are external, who are not just who are not only church media professionals, to come in and really learn what, team, how to manage their team, and of course, deploy AI for their ministry, for their business, and all of that. So yes, please do well to come in. I said earlier, again, we must say, the second church media community is filled up. Somebody wants to, give a round of applause, in the group. It's not just we, the founders, work. It's, everyone's work. Every one of you who have shared with your friend the links to join the groups, with your friend who have shared, across churches. In fact, some people at some point have visited churches on our behalf. They've, invited those churches to be part of, Church Media X, and kudos to, all of us all within the church media professionals. And of course, as you know, the accolade in this community should not just be projected by we, the founders, and people who manage, who are the admin. It should also be you. You should go to churches. You should, when you are talking to your friends or an investor or someone, you should mention Church Media X, to them, because we are all here to make it what it truly needs to be. Yes. Someone asked a question, Mr. Gbenga, and we would like, this question is very important, among every other, and that is, what's the minimum computer spec required to stream on YouTube, Facebook, and Waystream on one laptop?
Okay, thank you for. I saw it too. I was hoping I would be able to answer it. So before I answer it, I'll just tell you we have an article on that on our website, and that's to say, please visit the waystream.io website. We have a blog section that we.
The link is in the group, is in the chat session, so you can
Exactly.
check it out.
There's a whole lot of articles for you there to read. So this question has been answered there. All right, and even on the most of the articles we generate are from the community. Okay, we see questions people are asking too regularly, and it's not so tidy to answer it on the platform, because once people scroll past, they don't get the answer again. Okay, so what we do is that we pick the questions people are asking the most, and we try to answer it through an article. So we have a lot of articles on the church, on the Waystream blog, and then okay, on the Waystream blog. So please go there to read as many as you can. But just to answer the question here, I'm not going to advise, okay, that you use one laptop for everything, because you would get a poor performance. Okay, we are using two major things you need for streaming or to do any heavy work on with a computer: the RAM, and the processor, and then maybe the hard disk. But two major things are the RAM and the processor speed, the RAM size and the processor speed. Now, video streaming platform, like, I don't know which software you're using for YouTube and Facebook. If it's vMix is very, very, very heavy. And even OBS too is heavy, but not as heavy as vMix. All right. So because they are transcoding, capturing and transcoding and transmitting video. So it's using a lot of processor or graphic processing power and RAM. Okay, so now using Waystream on it, it's going to drag it, except the laptop is very, very huge. You need something not less than, so you can have enough headroom, not less than 16 gig RAM minimum, and a computer with a good processor. Then some of us don't even use them. Hope we know that there's something called media laptop. Okay, media laptop is different from normal everyday laptop you use in your office and all that. So some of us use normal everyday laptop for live streaming, which is not even supposed to be. So some of the challenges, some of you, because I see the comments, some of the challenges you are facing with your broadcast is because you are not using a media laptop. So when we say media laptop, every media laptop has um, a different graphic memory, different graphic card, dedicated graphic card for the purpose of processing video efficiently. Okay, so if you're using a media laptop that has good dedicated graphic card, not less than 16 gig memory, okay, you should be fine with the 3. But if you're not using a media laptop that has a dedicated graphic card, it's not it's not advisable because it's going to affect, they will conflict, they will affect one another. So even if you have 16 gig at times, it will still perform poorly. All right. So, but I understand we've already talked about the budget constraints. So that's why I keep saying, if you want to move to video streaming from phone, maybe you're still struggling to use phone, okay, count the cost very well so that you can have something excellent. If you are presenting the budget, I went to a Redeem church and they were having a challenge. They were complaining about their broadcast. It's not working. This one is shutting down. Now they use a computer which was not even very high for easy watching, and they also use it for streaming. Then they now had that Waystream on it. Okay, and they were complaining, Waystream is not working, it's not working. So by the time we check, okay, check the task monitor, the RAM or the RAM was already at 99%, even without starting Waystream. And the what's it called now? The processor was already maxed out. Okay, and I said this is why it's not Waystream that is not working. It's your laptop capacity. Okay, and I give it so they said they've been trying to request for device or increase capacity from the pastors. I encouraged them. I said, let the church know, keep pressing, because I knew it was the church that could afford it, but just maybe they couldn't get the buy-in of the pastor well. So, but eventually they were able to present it, and the pastor approved. I sent them the spec, okay, dedicated media laptop with good memory. They got it, and since then they've never complained once. They've never complained because they have a media laptop. So if you cannot afford that, just stay. There's no pressure. There's no rush. You can always do live audio. We already talked about that. You can do live audio only and get the job done. So once the church has money, right, you cannot get a proper media laptop to do video. But if you still want to do video, then get 2 laptops. One small laptop, I mean, minimum size. If it's video alone, vMix also requires high compute power. I'm not sure. You have to check a vMix website. 8 gig might be able to work for a non-dedicated GPU system. Get that one separately, then get another laptop for Waystream. If it's Waystream alone, the recommend 4 gig laptop can work very well for Waystream alone. 4 gig RAM laptop. Okay,
Wow.
4 gig RAM laptop and a normal processing. If a normal work laptop can work for Waystream alone, because it doesn't really require much compute. Okay, then get a separate laptop too for video, minimum of 8 or 16 gig. I know vMix also doesn't recommend 8 gig, but you can use it, but it can be dragging, or you can't do any other thing on it. So separate the two. If you really, really want to do video and audio at the same time, don't use both if you have a low spec laptop.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. And of course, that is the end of the session for tonight. We've really spent
Yes,
good
just to
time
answer this question.
together.
So yes, which stream also does podcasts? Somebody is asking. It's also a podcast platform. So meaning you can upload your audio and people can
Okay.
listen. Thank you.
Oh yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah, Waystream is also a podcast, platform. Yes, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Binga. Of course, as you know, Waystream is it's our very well partner. So yes, that shows beyond we just projecting them, we are bringing them in to showcase what all of what they're doing. And sometimes this week or next week we should be having another products demo Friday, with them on a Friday. So yes, whatever question you have about Waystream, come in with it, it will be answered. Yes, and of course, don't forget, still subscribe to Church Media X, click the videos and watch them and like them and comment, and thank you everyone. So see you next week, Monday, same time, 7 p.m. GMT +1. Have a great service experience all through the week, and bye everyone.